Hi everyone. Today I'm going to show you the custom metric formatting feature in GoodData. This feature allows you to control how your numbers appear inside your table reports. This will cover everything from adding or removing decimal places, currency symbols, additional text, and even colors and background colors. For those of you familiar with Excel, you'll see that formatting your numbers in GoodData is really similar. To begin, here I have a sample table report. I'm going to walk you through the formatting options to make this report nice and pretty. First, you'll notice that all formatting options start here in the Custom Number Formats control on the right of your table. Opening this lists each metric group and the current formatting code. Now's a good time to note the Help icon located here. Clicking this icon opens the documentation in your browser. This documentation is very thorough and covers everything you'll see in this video. You'll notice here that each metric contains a specific code which determines how the numbers should appear within the table. Numbers are represented by a number sign or hash sign. Here we see default values for each metric. Adding or removing decimal places is as easy as adding or removing the number signs to the right of the decimal place. Here, I'm going to remove the decimal places from our sales amount figure. Similarly, placing a comma within the code tells the application to use a comma separator as needed. I can also add extra symbols into this code depending on what I'm measuring. And these symbols will appear within the table as is. So for example, I can make this sales amount currency by adding a dollar symbol here in the beginning. I click Save, and now all of these numbers should have a dollar symbol in front of it. If I wanted to use a different kind of text label, say this wasn't currency, but something else like weight, I could say pounds next to it, and this would also appear within the table. Let's change this back to dollars. Okay. Here in my second column, I see a number that's probably better displayed as a percentage. I can go here and add the percent symbol to my code, and the application will automatically show the number as a percentage. There we go. And again, I can change the number of number symbols to the right of the decimal point to increase or decrease precision. Here I'm going to remove the extra decimals, and there I have a nice percentage for my second column. It's even possible to truncate these numbers. What do I mean by that? In this case, you see my sales amount figure is in the thousands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the hundreds numbers here by going to my formatting and removing these three number signs. And I'm going to replace them with a symbol for thousands, a K. Now I'll see what these look like here. There we go. So I've shortened my numbers and threw a thousand separator in there. I can even truncate them by millions just by adding another comma here, and I'll change this, let's say, to a millions symbol. Since I don't have anything in the millions here, I'm also going to add a decimal point and a couple of more numbers to the right of the decimal point. And we'll see what that looks like. Here we go. So I've truncated these numbers now to show millions. Next, it's also possible to add color to your tables. To do this, just enter the color name in brackets before the number code. The application recognizes several colors by name. To designate a specific color, it's also possible to enter the RGB color code for the color and use the color equals tag that we see here. Colors known to the application by name, as well as links to an online hexadecimal color code calculator are contained within the documentation. Here, to show colors in action, I'm going to take the numbers in my sales margin column and turn them green. I can do that just by adding brackets and the color name into the code. When I save this, we'll see that all my sales margin colors are now green. Similarly, it's possible to designate the background color of your table cells using the background color tag. Here, I'm going to change the background color of my profit metric by adding, again in brackets, the background color tag. Note that this is one word, and this tag accepts hexadecimal values. So I'm going to use the hexadecimal value for gray and change the background color of my profit metric. Here we go. Note that it's possible to string these tags together to create more complex formatting options. In this example, I've used a background color as well as a font color to format this metric. Moving on, it's also possible to specify conditions for formatting your numbers. These conditions are rules that change the appearance of the metric only if the conditions are met. To specify a condition, we just add a tag before the display code, such as here. In this example, numbers less than 0 are displayed in red. We can use semicolons to separate multiple commands. Here, we have numbers less than 100 are displayed in red, while numbers less than 1,000 are displayed in green. The parser looks for the first condition matching from left to right. So it's a little bit tricky, and we got to be careful about things like this here, where we say numbers less than 100 are in black, and numbers less than 0 are in red with parentheses around them. In this case, nothing will ever appear red because any number that matches this condition will automatically match this condition also. The proper way to do this is try to make sure there's no overlap between your conditions. In this example, we have numbers less than 0 are in red with parentheses around the number, and numbers greater than 0 are in green. I'm going to cut and paste this code and show this to you inside the application. Here, I'm going to paste the code I copied into my profit column to try to separate positive numbers from negative numbers. Here, we see that my positive numbers are in green, while my negative numbers are in red with the parentheses, just like in our code. The last thing I want to mention today is that what we were doing was formatting metrics within a report. And this is a report-specific change, meaning that this metric is only displayed as we define it for the current report that we're working on. It's possible to format the metrics using the data management page to make the change global, meaning that anytime someone uses that metric, the default formatting options will be as you've defined. So to make a global change here, I'll go to the data section of my project and look under metrics. Here I see our profit metric. And here we see the default number format for this metric every time it's used in a report. I'm just going to paste our code in here for the red and the green numbers. And now anytime someone uses this profit metric, they'll have negative numbers in red and positive numbers in green, like we saw in our example. So thanks everyone for listening today to this very quick rundown of all that's possible, which I hope gives you a good idea of what you can do as far as formatting your metrics in GoodData. Remember, you can always see a list of all examples and everything that we saw in this video by clicking on the formatting help icon within the application and seeing the documentation. All right, thanks again. Have a good one.